Here's someone that you really need to meet, or someone that you really need to learn about his story from Haiti to become the captain of the U.S. Navy. But that's not all. He also has much more to share with you, and I guarantee you'll be inspired in few minutes. Joining us now is Dr. Charles. Doctor, thank you so much for being here with us.
James, it's a pleasure to be with you.
Well, I was listening to your stories in Creole, Haitian Creole. I can tell you that I really want to follow your footsteps. From Haiti to the United States, but that's not all. I would say to the Pentagon. Tell us in few words about your story back in Haiti and now to the U.S.
Quick story, my mother and father got a scholarship from the church back in the 40s. Came to Shaw University at Raleigh, North Carolina, and got their degree. My father in divinity and my mother in nursing and education. And they went back to Haiti, and for 50 years, their mission was to educate and help the Haitian people. So as I was born, that's all I knew. And my most vivid memories is sitting in the church, because as a kid, there's no way you can miss church.
That's for sure. And there's this culture of Haiti as well,
Oh, yeah,
right?
you
So
gotta-
it's home, church, and school.
That's it. You gotta go to church. So, and I can still remember being listening to my father talking about justice, hope, what you can do if you are united, what you can do if you have a good education, what you can do if you have a good heart. Although I was maybe 7, 6, 8 years old, but somehow I was listening. And in my mind, I can still see him preaching and the people listening. So he did that for 50 years.
For 50 years.
For 50 years.
And then after that, you migrated to the U.S. But something really caught your attention when you went to the U.S. Embassy to have the U.S. visa to come here in the U.S.
Yeah. So they, the preach the word, and a little something happened back in 1974. The Duvalier actually came to the church and arrested my dad in front of me.
Wow.
And took him to jail.
Why?
Because he was telling people that the justice is okay, that it's okay to question authority. He was giving them hope. And when you're in a dictatorship, people don't want to hear that. So they arrested him, and I saw it. I grabbed my little brother, ran away, and my mom had already left the country because our house used to be watched by the Tonton Macoute. And so my mom, back in the 70s, said, okay, I've given enough to the country. I need to go because I cannot, it's just a little bit too much. So my mother left so she can pave the way for us to come and do good, better things. But my dad did not want to leave. My dad says, I believe in God, and not one hair in my head will be touched unless it is the will of God.
Wow.
And my mom, after being with, preaching with him for 30 years, said you've been saying that for 30 years, but you're still preaching, nothing is happening. So my mother left and left us with my dad. And then when they arrested him, that's when we actually went and moved to my aunt's house, which is when I moved I used to go to Sacré-Cœur Juvénal, which is when I moved from there to Centre d'Éducation Scolaire by Sacré-Cœur in Delma, because we actually went to live with my aunt.
Wow.
And then but my dad was in jail. He spent 40 days in jail. And I remember my older sister going to jail to actually feed him, because they don't feed you. So my older sister would go to the jail every day to bring him food. But I never went to, somehow, I was 16. I reflect on it. I never went to the jail to see him. I don't know if I was afraid of the jail.
Well, as a child as well, and then what happened,
I never went because I'm why didn't I go? But I never went. Anyway, and then my mother says, all you have to do is pass your reto, which is the final grade to pass high school. He said, if you pass the rhetoric, then I'll come and pick you up and you can come to college in the U.S.
And then you migrated. I want to get to the best part of
Yes.
it since we don't have a lot of time. Then you migrated to the U.S. You start learning English. You start learning the culture, and then I want to know what drove you to the idea of, okay, now I need to serve. Now I need to join the Navy.
Yes. So came to the U.S., learn English. Of course, Haiti has a great education. So my very first course in the U.S. was like English, chemistry, physics, math.
Yeah.
Very first semester. And I did good. So finally, I learned my English. I applied to go to Cornell University, an Ivy League school up in New York. And then I graduated in double engineering, mechanical, and aerospace engineering. And then after that, I joined Fairchild Republic, and I started designing the A-10 aircraft for the U.S. Air Force. Wow. And after working there for about 2 years or so, they got a contract to build a new jet for the Air Force called the T-46. And they pulled me to be in the research R&D design department, working on flight ailerons, flight systems. And I was lucky that the chief engineer that I was working with is a retired Navy guy, World War II. And he started telling me about World War II, how we fought the Pacific War. And me, I was just listening to the story because I have no military background whatsoever. Wow. And then one day he said, "Hey, Charles, you a smart young man. If you want to join the club, you have to go pay your dues." I'm like, "What club is that? And what kind of dues?" He's like, all the chief engineers, all the big guys up there, what we call in Creole, like go le vite. They are all retired Air Force, retired Marine Corps. So although you may see them in civilian clothes, but what you don't see is the military cloth underneath. So if you want to join and design airplanes the way they do, you have to go and feel it. Because then when you come back to be an engineer, you will design the airplane with all your heart and all your soul, because you know these will be your brothers and your sisters dying if you don't do it properly.
And also you will have higher clearances.
And you have higher clearances. And then I followed Dominic's advice and joined the Navy. And I only joined for 5 years. When I went to tell the chief engineer, the director of engineering, that I'm leaving to join the military, he's like, "No, you don't have to leave. You're going to go to the military. Your promotion will continue. When you come back, we'll plug you right back in." And then as I joined the military, every year they would send me a little dividend check, because I was part of the company. But after spending 3 years, my first 2 years, I was flying to be a naval aviator. But I didn't really like, that's when Top Gun movie came out. But I didn't really like flying upside down, throwing up. So I said, I'm going to ships. I went to ships, and I love ships. Spent 10 years on ships.
From high to lows,
From high to
still
lows.
moving.
Love ships. Love ships from there, and went up, make rank. I was in the Pentagon on 9/11, because back then, I had about like 15, 17 years. I got picked up, selected to be a commanding officer of a ship. You don't really know what ship you're going to get. I was selected. They sent me to the Pentagon. I was supposed to be for 22 months, but the 9/11 happened, and I was right there in charge of military policy for the U.S., for Europe. So I was working military. So I was the one doing U.S. policy for Europe. I was working with NATO command structure, the founding of, right now we have a first NATO command in the U.S., the only NATO command in the U.S. I'm the action officer who worked that transition back in 2001. I also worked the high readiness forces in NATO, that is to put high readiness forces so NATO can deploy out of area if there was any issue, because the big problem we had with NATO around 1993, when the Soviet Union went down, people start asking, there's no need for NATO. And we knew that there's a need for NATO. So what we wanted to do is to come up with a policy and the strategy to keep NATO in the fight. And the Europeans, they're like, we're not going to spend any money in defense. We're just going to, spend money in the economy. We're like, no, you can't do that, because an enemy is going to come out, and you won't know, and then you won't be prepared. So we kept pushing them, and I was working those kind of issues.
Those kind of policies.
And then after I spent 3 years in the Pentagon, they called me to tell me the ship I got, and I actually got the USS Arleigh Burke, which is the lead ship, DDG-51, the lead ship of the most sophisticated warship in the history of naval warfare in the world.
Tell
Top-
us, tell
top
us,
ship.
wow, tell us about that amazing story, the top ship that they gave you, but you had to start from scratch. You had to pay your dues again. You had to start from scratch to build it, and then for you to experience the journey with it.
Yes, so during my 10 years serving, I had the pleasure of being assigned to be the combat systems officer of USS Gonzales, which is another one of these top ships. So the one I was in command of was the first one, DDG-51, but then I had the pleasure of building DDG-66 that we named for Sergeant Gonzales, who died in Kuwait City during Vietnam War. So we actually named the ship for him. And then I was a combat systems officer in charge of about 10 officers and 110 Americans. And I'm like, wow, look at this.
Wow.
$1.4 billion.
$1.4 billion.
For the destroyer.
Such an amazing project. But Dr. Charles, I know we spoke about it. Your ultimate goal was, or still always, let me gain all the possible knowledge to help motherland. You're Haitian American, to help back Haiti. And now you're looking at Haiti as a retired captain. What is it you're saying to yourself? Is it still worth fighting? How can we inspire Haitian Americans to help Haiti?
I know I have a very short time, but my recommendation is to really get a copy of Sea Dog.
Okay.
It's all in there in Sea Dog. I'm still trying to translate it in French and Creole, but right now it's only in English. So the entire story is in there. I wrote the book for Haitians. You know, although the book is being sold in Germany, in Spain, in the US, very successful, but my main target is the Haitian people, and I actually said that in the introduction because I was listening to a program by Métropole Le Point, by Wendell Theodore, where he said, what Haitians need is good role model. And I said, I know so many role models. How come we cannot just get a role model? And I said, I think I could qualify as a role model based on what I've done. And I decided to write the book so I can show them we have Haitians doing great work. But our time is yet to come. I know we're still out here doing things, but we have so many Haitians, we cannot wait to come back to their country and give all of themselves, and some of them even for free. They just waiting. But I think we're just waiting for the right time. Again, like I told you before, the right time, you don't really know when it is because there's a date called 14 August 1791, which is Wakaima. Folks, on 10 August 1791, 2 days before Wakaima, could not foresee what would happen in 2 days. The only thing they could see is the past. You can see the past, you can see the present, but you can't really see the future. And then little did they know that they only had 2 more days to hang on to have Wakaima. And later on, 18 November 1803, Vertières, where the little nation of Haiti actually beat the Spanish, beat the English, and beat the French, the most powerful nation on earth back then under Napoleon Bonaparte, with his brother-in-law Leclerc in Haiti, and he didn't make it back.
Wow.
Because we held him, and Haiti became the first free black republic in the history of the world. And that feat has never been repeated since. But my glimmer of hope for you is that tomorrow could be the day when Haiti will become the Haiti that it was born to be. It could be tomorrow or next week. But you and I, we just cannot see it right now. All we can see is the suffering.
Yeah.
But I know one day for sure, Haiti will be one of the greatest nations on earth.
Haiti will rise, and we hope that Haiti rise again. Last question. I know that we're running out of time for sure. A strong message for the TPS recipients, or also Haitians who are now the beneficiaries of the humanitarian program under former President Biden.
The strongest message I have for those going to TPS issues and those suffering, it's only one word. Kembela, pas la guerre, parce que demain, si Dieu veut, après, jour va, jour vient, demain, si Dieu veut, après. Et demain, si Dieu veut, il y a des jours pas noirs. Il n'y a pas demain, il n'y a pas demain. Oh, I'm speaking.
It's fine because the Haitian Americans will understand for
supposed to be
sure.
speaking
Yeah,
English.
no, that's great. That's great. They get it.
I just transitioned to Creole. I did not even know I was speaking Creole. I said, jour va, jour vient. One day, our turn will come. So for those suffering with TPS, my heart is with you. Yeah, but I know that's not enough. But I'm begging you to hang on, because one day we will be one of the great nation on earth. And then invite me for coffee then.
All right, absolutely. We can't wait to invite Dr. Charles Stuppard, I gotta say it in the French way because he's Haitian American, for him to enjoy the rising of Haiti. But for now, I want you to please purchase his book, Sea Dog, very important, and I know that you will learn much more. Like, you gotta make sure that this is right on camera so you can see it. You can find that on Amazon and other platforms as well. So please purchase the book so you can learn much more about another great role model we have in the Haitian community. I'm James Pierre. We'll see you next time.